Alright, so here's the ARB air compressor installed under my Ram 2500. You can see I use 3/8 inch push connect fittings and ram lines to the front and to the rear of the rig. This is in an area underneath the truck that stays pretty clean. Keep in mind I'm not rock crawling or mudding or anything in this truck. This is a truck that gets me to base camp. This is my tow rig, kind of like my support vehicle for my rock crawler. So let me bring you around to the back of the truck. Here's our switch. So this is the bed lighting switch here. And here's the ARB switch here. So bed lighting, ARB. And here's a quick connect for the rear of the truck. Has a dust cap. So there's an air fitting there. As you can see, this is my trailer spare tire. There's some straps and stuff in there. And that's my recovery tote that has all my tree savers and my recovery straps, my winch extension ropes, my pulley snatch blocks, D-rings, all that stuff for the Ram. And I also have another recovery kit in the Toyota. But anyway, here's the quick connect on the front of the rig is inside the bumper here, right there. Same type of disconnect, the quick disconnect air fitting. So what I'm gonna do, the Toyota actually has a flat tire on the driver's side. The front driver's side has I don't know, it's down to like 2 psi or something. But anyway, I'm just gonna inflate it, and I don't know, I'll inflate it kind of high because it leaks air. So I'll put like 20 pounds in it and see how long it takes the ARB compressor in the Ram to air up this 40-inch tire in the Toyota. All right, so I checked the tire. It's actually at 6 psi, which is actually good for rock crawling. I actually run the fronts at 8 or 10, depending on the park I'm taking it to, and I run the rears at 5 because the rear of the vehicle is lighter. But because this tire loses air, I'm going to go ahead and inflate it because it is lower than the other front tire. The other front tire is probably at 9 or 10. This one's at 6. I just know this tire has a slow leak, and we're going to fill it from 6 to 20. And the reason for that is because if I did street this rig, I mean, I wouldn't street it on stickies, but for example, I used to not have stickies, and I would run about 18 to 20 pounds in my tires for street pressure, and then I would air down to around 5 for the trail. And I'd have to go to a gas station or use an air compressor or somebody else or whatever before I had onboard air. So keep in mind, my Ram is my support vehicle. I'm not wheeling the Ram, I'm wheeling the Toyota, but this is kind of base camp. So I'm gonna turn on the compressor in the Ram, and that's why I've got the Ram running. And then we're gonna fill up this tire and see how long it takes. Just to show you real quick, here's we're gonna turn on the air compressor. It shuts off at 100 psi, so when you first turn it on, it only just runs for just a few seconds to inflate the whole line to 100, and then when we start using it, it's gonna kick back on. So I'm gonna set this up on a tripod and see how long it takes. 19. Okay, so the ARB air compressor that's installed in the Ram took right at 3 minutes to air up 139/1350, which people that are into rock crawling know that 39-inch red is just as big as, or if not taller than, most 40s. So just to call it a 40-inch tire, it took 3 minutes to air it up from what would be trail pressure to what would be street pressure. So that's pretty good. And I'm running 1/4-inch ID, 3/8 inch OD push connect air lines on the rig. So obviously that's running enough air through the lines to keep the compressor happy and keep the inflation happy. I used the 3/8 inch OD line because it has a 1/4 inch ID, which is the same as the fittings, and you can only flow that much air through the fittings. So I'm pretty happy with this. 3 minutes per tire. You know, this is not a streetable rig, so I don't air this up and down when I go to the trail, but I do have friends that air up and down, or there may be other people that air up and down, or I may need to add air to this or that or this. You know, it's helpful to have air at camp. And now I have air at camp on the Ram, and now I know it takes 3 minutes to fill up a tire. So experiment is complete.